Welcome to another episode of Cutting It Up at Palm Beach Finest Barbershop. I'm Mr. E, and I'm over here with my co-host,
Succulent Michelle.
And today, well, what can I say? I got a good friend, a good mentor. Man, this guest right here, he's a living legend. You heard that, a living legend. He's not even dead yet, which is good. He's a living legend. This man, what can I say? You're gonna listen to his story. This is Leroy Spruill.
Don't forget.
Oh, the junior. Yeah, he's not the senior. He's the junior.
What up, Leroy?
How are you? How are you
well,
today?
how are you?
Y'all done got me in the chair. So what's going on?
Well,
today?
listen, I got him here because he's already retired from law enforcement. Leroy, man, the people love him. Palm Springs adores him. His name is rumored throughout police departments, streets. Man, and I want it to be clear that, listen, we're gonna clear your name this time. You know, he's the man. He never had to pull out a gun on nobody. He would go up to you and talk to you like a man. He would approach you like a man. Man, he'll teach you. He's about the youth. And now, please. Oh, wait. Drones.
Airbrushing.
He's a beast for airbrushing. And when you come in and record at the studio, this is the man right here. I was the assistant. He built it, but I was the
Didn't I
assistant.
see you doing some woodworking?
Yeah.
He
It's
was
all in
woodworking
there.
too, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's a handyman, a coach. That's how we met.
Coaching.
What
Shout
team?
out to what's the team name?
Palm Beach Knights.
Shout out.
Oh, okay.
Then that's how we met. I sponsored their uniform. Man, Leroy, start from when you were 18. That's when you got to start. Listen, guys, listen to this story. We're going to start when Leroy was 18. So for all yous out there that want to know about who Leroy really is, I was able to do it. I was fucking able to do it. I got Leroy in the fucking chair. Leroy, let loose, please, sir. Let loose. When you were 18, what were you doing when you were 18 years old?
18, long time ago, dog.
Where were you? Where were you when you were?
Living in New Jersey.
New Jersey.
Outside of Camden. Born and raised in Philadelphia, West Philly. Don't get it twisted. I understand. I hear that song, but this is true. Born in West Philadelphia.
Philly in the they
Isn't
won
it
the
the
Super
Fresh
Bowl,
Prince
was it?
song?
Or the
Yeah.
basketball? Was it? Which one you went for?
I went to the Eagles.
The Eagles. Hey, won the Super Bowl. They won it. They won a
Yeah.
Super Bowl. So you were able to see a Super Bowl too.
Able to see my team win one. So I can say that, you know, I haven't been brought up rough. I had my mom and dad in the house, so you know, we had rules and regulations, not like the rules that they have now, but rules and regulations where you get your ass beat when you do something wrong, not when you go to a corner and shit.
And they don't call the police. Huh?
Yeah. So, but worked in several different cities along the Eastern Coast. You know, worked in Philadelphia, worked in Washington D.C.
What'd you do in Washington D.C.?
Worked at the FBI.
You were an FBI.
Ooh, that's
Fingerprinter.
cool.
Fingerprinter.
Yeah.
Oh,
did
you heard
fingerprint.
that, guys? 18 years old, fingerprinter.
Wow.
How was it
That's
working there?
cool.
Between 18 and 21.
How was it working with the FBI?
It was interesting. I had my first lesson in understanding work habits, understanding people, understanding a lot of things. But I had my first, well, I ain't gonna say it's the first encounter because I was in the service for 6 years too.
Whoa, no, I know that one. You were in the military.
Military for 6 years.
Which branch?
Army, I did the Army Reserves for 6 years with them
And while that, you were doing FBI thing too.
and FBI.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so a lot of people don't know this background, but this background stretches a long way.
I got it out. Mr. E. Mr. E.
Yeah,
Huh?
it stretches a long way. From there, I worked in Philadelphia, the Philadelphia Police Department, doing fingerprints there just as well. Intake.
Wait, before you start that, I'm sorry to cut him off. I ain't trying to cut you off 'cause it's rude. but he got an award at the FBI, by the
Yes.
FBI. What was the award for? Please share this. I gotta brag about this. I got a lot to brag about with Leroy Spruill Jr.
Well, it was a time when I was understanding fingerprints, and when you're doing fingerprints and you're searching the dead file for prints of live people, it shouldn't be in the dead file. So what had happened was I found a set of prints in the dead file, which was a big thing in the FBI back then. A big thing. So I mean, when you have to actually hand search fingerprint cards, yes, thumbprints, fingerprints, yes, I know it. Fell asleep doing that kind of shit.
And who gave you the award? Unless you don't want to share that name.
Well,
Who was the director at that point?
The director was Greyhouse.
Greyhouse, huh?
Yeah, Agent Greyhouse. He was director of that section. Had to give me an award for that, which was cool.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I learned a lot.
Really neat.
But you don't understand. It's a lot of learning. You know, coming up. I got the job through affirmative action. At that time, was where they had to hire more people of color in that building.
Oh, so your skin color came in handy.
It came in handy that
Nice.
time. But I didn't know that. I just was happy to
Listen,
get a job.
God is good.
Yeah, God is good.
God is good.
He knew my path before I knew it. So
That's why we're here.
Yeah.
That's why we're here. That's why I'm
Yeah.
bragging about him.
yeah,
I'm bragging about him. So then, now we're in Philly. You were a cop.
No, it wasn't a cop in Philly. I
No?
was a fingerprinter in Philly. I
Oh, okay.
worked in intake where they bring them in and everything.
Oh, so you were like
in
not-
the police department,
But not police yet.
fingerprinting every prisoner that came in the station.
Wow, that's
Yes.
neat.
so you seen everybody.
I
Seen you.
seen plenty of people come into the station.
Any big political people?
I really wasn't
you can
into
do
it,
that?
so if they
So
was
you
on
don't
my,
even know
how
the
you said,
difference.
if they was on my wall
You
next,
just got it done.
all I did was fingerprint. You know, I didn't care who it was.
Back then, was it how it is in county now, where it's like the digital stuff?
No, it wasn't digital. Everything
No.
was by hand.
So
back then,
we're gonna
so.
put your age out there, you know. But what year? What year
Yeah,
was
that
this when you
was-
were 18, Leroy?
Well, I
You look
was.
good, no matter what number you get.
I was
the higher, the better.
I was in my 20s then, my early 20s. I was
Okay.
in my early 20s working at the Philadelphia Police Department.
So I'm guessing like maybe early 80s.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go with that. We'll go with that, right?
Yeah, I don't know. When were you born? If you was born anywhere around 80, 81, I graduated that year.
Oh, that's the year
I was born in 80.
See? Look,
Okay.
look at him.
Man, and he looks good for his age. He
I
looks
was a
real good.
senior when you was being born, and I was a junior when you was being born.
Okay, see that?
That's funny.
So Philadelphia, what'd you do from
After Philly, I came down here.
Palm Beach?
Palm Beach County, 1990.
Woo! Now,
Good year.
Palm Beach, baby.
Good year.
Palm Beach.
I was the first black guy to work in the sheriff's department doing fingerprints.
But
Really?
not as a sheriff yet?
No, I wasn't a deputy.
Same
But
thing
you
as
hired
as
there.
there.
As Philadelphia, I was doing here. So I did a lot of fingerprint for about, I might have about 15 years. Of
Wait, so you did it over here in Gun
Sheriff's
Club?
Gun Club.
At the gym?
Huh.
Yeah.
I did it. I was there for
Was
5
it digitally
years.
yet or still the...
Nope, they was turning into digital. It was turning into. I was there when they introduced the new system of doing
So
fingerprint.
you were able to learn it too?
Oh, I know it all. Fingerprint
You see that?
is easy. I can
That's neat.
examine fingerprints. That's nothing. And, you know, those are the things that I try to explain to a lot of young people today, that, you know, you need a certificate. You need to learn something, know something. I didn't know. When I first got hired in the FBI, I started as a file clerk.
Oh, wow, look at
Then
that.
I went from a file clerk, within 2 to 3 months, I went to data. So in other words, if a fingerprint card come to my face, I had to write all the alias names that are on there and type it in the computer.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I went from that, and I was only doing that for maybe about 2 months. Then I went into the fingerprint class through the FBI. And after that, a star was born. I was on it. Fingerprint was my game plan. I knew it like clockwork.
Hey, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
what made you? Because growing up in Philly is not an easy thing, you know.
No sir.
So, how did you end up at 18, military, fingerprint analyst, and not steering to? What advice can you give this youth?
Where'd you get that inspiration of making those moves?
Like what knocked you in the head, or giving thanks to mom and pops?
Well, here's the thing. You know, you got a mother that wanted you to go to college. Mind you, I've been to college. Got 3 years of it. I've been to college, Glassboro State, which is now Rowan College. I've been to North Carolina A&T State University.
Oh boy, you've traveled.
Yes. But see, you got to understand, as a kid, I was the oldest boy out of 3 boys, and I had an older sister.
So it's 5 in total.
So
No, it's
a
4.
lot of pressure to go out and do something.
Oh, 2 boys.
No,
Yeah, 3 boys.
It was 3 boys, 1 girl.
Also 4.
Yeah.
Right.
So you got to understand, being the oldest, if you're the oldest of all the kids, you are being looked at by the other 2.
Yeah.
So your mistakes, the other 2 don't make. You know, so in other words,
live and learn.
as my dad
Or watch and learn.
The pressure of the oldest.
people didn't believe that when the lights come on and the street lights come on, you need to get your ass home.
Oh,
that was our rule.
Yeah,
Right.
I still live
That was our rule.
But I was the one wasn't coming home. So I was getting my ass
You
beat
were
a lot.
that one.
Yeah, so-
Okay.
As we grow up, you know, in that household, you know, dad is from the 30s, 40s, 50s.
Old school.
Mom, same thing. So old school way they handle ass whoopings is completely different here. And so you have a choice to make in life. But when I left home, and when I say I left, I got too many ass whoopings. I wasn't a perfect kid, but
The army was gonna be easier on your ass than your parents, huh?
Who gave you that option? Go to the army. Who told
well,
you?
here's the thing. My mother said, go to school. So I went to college.
Okay.
1 year, I fucked it completely up. I lied to you not. Fucked it up.
And listen,
Cause
don't
you
give
didn't-
up.
You
He
went
didn't
for
give
her.
up.
Cause you
He
went
found
for her,
another.
not for
He
you.
found another way. You
Yeah.
know?
I
'cause
did
you
what
went
my
for
mom.
her,
My
not
mom
you.
said, and then my dad was like, "You need to go in the service." So I went in the service, but I didn't want to travel overseas, so I took the reserves. I took the shortcut and said, "You know what? Then now I got to come home." So
You heard that, guys. Reserve shortcut.
yeah. So after doing all that, I did what my mom said, I did what my dad said, but I had to find my own way.
Now it's time to do what motherfucking Leroy Spruill Jr. wanna fucking do.
I ran. I got out. I went to DC. When I left DC and got a taste of living on my own, and it was
No
an
going
addiction.
back.
It was an addiction. I just could not. I could not see myself going back home to stay with my mom and dad.
Let that be a lesson,
Yeah.
guys.
I could not do it. I had
No
to grow
going
up.
back.
And when they stuck me in DC, and I lied to you to this day, I love me some DC. Oh, DC.
Yeah, you always go
You
back
know
a lot.
what? People
DC.
that have
Every
lived in
time I
DC have
hear
told
that.
they have raved about DC.
DC.
It's a party town.
No, I want to say
I heard.
DC was the most. Everybody would say. Some people say college was the best time of their life. DC was mine. DC, I learned everything.
Yeah, we definitely need. If I go to DC, I gotta have.
Oh man, it was.
If it's like that, if you love DC like that, then you take it.
Oh,
to the
it
right
was field
spot.
day. I would always, every summer I go to DC. And then when I made that decision to leave home, and these kids today just don't know how. They don't know a way out.
They're stuck on their mama's titties.
Yeah,
you know?
they ain't going nowhere.
Or their daddy
But
calls, one
but
or
see,
the other.
people don't realize.
Well, the
in this
cost of
day,
living is a little higher.
yeah,
than it
but
used to
no,
be,
y'all.
I'm
The
just
way
saying.
process of growing up is when you have your kids, or when you have your kids, you always take something away from your growing up to make it easier for them.
Sure.
For instance, you always say to your kid, "I'm not going to treat my kid like my mom and dad treated me."
Yeah.
Me?
everybody says that.
I treated myself like my mom and dad treated me. Oh, I lied to you not. Slip up a little bit, like my dad said, leave the window open a little bit. If I can get in, you messed up. He said, if you leave the window cracked, and if I can get in, you messed up. So in other words, if you mess up and he get a chance to whoop your ass, and my dad was notorious. It's something he loved doing.
Whooping your ass.
That was like
Leroy, over here.
it was a passion. I'm not the only one that could tell you that. My brother could tell you that. My younger brother could tell you I got the ass whooping because I did some shit I just needed to try. I was a runner. My dad couldn't catch me. He had to actually catch me. But the one time, I'll never forget it. 16 years old. My father woke up in the morning and he said, "We're gonna paint the house orange and brown,
Wow.
bright ass orange."
I love your dad.
I told him I ain't doing it.
What?
I said, "I'm not painting that. That hurt my eyes. I'm not doing it." My
love the
dad,
orange
at that time, he said, "Oh, I'm gonna have to whoop your ass, I see."
Huh.
And my dad don't really curse, but he was like, "Oh, let me go down here." When I was like, "Nah, well, that's a whooping you're gonna have to take." And when you don't say that to your dad, unless you think you can take it. Well, at that particular time, 16, look, I was
You're a
probably
little
at,
skinnier.
yeah, I was a little
Well,
smaller.
plus, you know how 16
But I just had,
Yeah, there he is, right there.
and I just had the thought process that I could
I
take
get
it.
this story right. Oh yeah, you extra skinny right there.
But he did something completely off the mark.
He got you.
He went down to the basement where he stayed at, him and my mom stayed at. They had the basement fixed up. I heard him go into a safe.
Ooh.
When you hear a black man go to a safe, what do you think is in the safe? And we ain't know it ain't money.
I mean, a
Uh-huh.
gun.
I heard that thing rack a chain.
Nah.
I'm out the door. I
Whoa.
was gone. Gone. Gone.
Wow, you pissed him off that much.
Gone.
Wow.
I hauled
Scary.
ass out the back there. I was
Whoa.
gone.
Click, click.
How old were you?
16.
Uh.
Yeah. But he was
I
mad.
had
Wow.
heard you say no to him too many times.
Well, you know, I'm gonna tell you something. I mean,
Wow.
people don't quite understand that
I'm
living
stuck
with
on
my
the click,
dad.
click.
Yeah, living with my dad.
Fuck.
He made us work on parts of the house, so I'm good at doing handyman carpentry.
Yeah, that's how I learned about that story.
Yeah.
Helping your assistant, being your assistant.
I learned how to do that. I learned how to work on cars. I learned how to do everything because my dad would always tell us, "Look, where you going? Saturday morning, cartoon Saturday morning." This man would wake up at literally 7:30 in the morning
Yeah, that's how I am.
and
with my
say,
kids.
"Hey, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do that." And
That's
even
good
then,
though. Would you have rathered him sleep till 2?
No.
no way in the
Right.
world my dad could sleep to 2.
But that's what
And
I'm
if he
saying
did,
though, you know,
that's more than enough time for me to get out the house before he even wake up.
And be back.
Yeah.
The alternative, you
So,
know.
I look at these kids today and they're missing a lot. They're missing hands-on. They're missing. I can name probably 1,000 kids that couldn't even change a tire.
Yeah, I know a lot of people.
I know a lot of adults that can't
AAA
change
now,
a tire.
baby.
Yeah.
AAA.
See,
That was something my granddaddy, he showed me how to do right away before I could even like learn how to drive.
Right.
I
So-
didn't know how to do certain things.
Yeah. So when I grew up and decided to make my own way, and I found my way here in Florida, I wasn't going back.
So how old were you when you came to Palm Beach?
26, 27.
Nice age, huh?
Yeah, when I came down here, I wasn't going back. And the only thing that kept me here in Florida, the weather.
Oh, that's why.
right.
No
Yeah.
snow.
No.
That's
snow.
why I left New York. I
Yeah.
couldn't not
No
deal with-
snow.
Oh,
So,
I couldn't do
I've
it.
only seen snow twice.
Oh, they can keep that. They can keep that.
I
Yeah.
love to play in it.
I'm
I don't
not
want
about
to
that
work
stuff.
in
Palm
it or
Beach, baby,
anything.
Palm Beach.
no, that ain't, I don't even want to play in it.
So Leroy, we're a sheriff. Where did you go after that?
After that was a rocket road. You know, we all hit one little obstacle in our life.
Huh.
One obstacle every person will hit. It all depends on how you handle it when you come out of that obstacle. And that's falling in love.
Oh.
Oh, so between
After the
sheriff,
yep.
after sheriff, you fell in love. A Palm Beach girl.
Nah, she was from Detroit.
But how long was
Oh,
she
wow.
But she was here for a couple of years when I met her. But
here? Oh, she was already molded by Palm Beach. Nothing
Yeah.
against Palm Beach
yeah,
women, but
so I'm here to
shit.
tell you that
You know?
that one
Got me going
obstacle.
crazy.
Little bit of
Yeah.
country, little bit of city, little bit of ocean.
Mm-hmm. But
you know, yeah.
that was
shit.
the obstacle right there, man. And so,
what was it about her that made you fall in love?
everything. She was everything.
Huh.
Everything. I mean,
And what happened? What happened? I need details. No.
Nah,
we won't give names.
I mean, he was 26, 27. I'm imagining that.
no, I was more or less.
Details.
Well, 26, 27. I got down here. I met her in '92.
Was she working in the sheriff's too?
No.
Okay, so she
Nah,
wasn't
she
in the
was.
police.
Nah, yeah, she
was?
is police.
Wait, is it? Nah. Really? Bro, this story. Now you telling me all this shit? All this time I cut your hair. Now I'm getting all the spicy shit? Oh,
Yeah.
man. At least I got something.
Yeah,
Did you keep that music
you got
on
something
back?
out of me.
Yeah. Well, good thing I got them now.
Yeah, we ain't gonna let it all out, but
Go ahead, go
you
ahead.
know, that's when either you're gonna get out there and do what you got to do, and you got to understand, I'm a survivor, man. I hustle and grind, and I do whatever I have to do to get a good job. And people don't understand the word of a good job is a job with benefits and retirement and everything. That's a good job. Everything besides that is not a good job. Everything else should be a hustle, but the good job is having your benefits. So I needed benefits. So I needed something to take care of this chick. I needed it. So
Okay.
I was on the grind. And then to have a child added to the situation. Now
you really loved her.
Yeah, you on a mission now. You on a mission.
He went in.
Yeah, you go in deep.
You know?
Yeah.
And so when you do that, the first thing you got to do is just take care of it. Take care of it. But like I said, it's an obstacle. Marriages,
marriage ain't easy.
it's a beast. You don't know. So you get down here, you get married, and all of a sudden, in the same process of me having a child, I'm becoming police. My name got out there somehow.
Getting there.
And I started in Boynton Beach.
Wait, you worked in Boynton?
Boynton Beach.
Police?
PD.
Before
Don't get
Palm
stuck
Springs?
behind
Oh, man!
Police.
Now I see why your name everywhere. Okay.
Oh my
Okay, you
goodness.
fucking my mind right now, bro.
They'll
What
pull
the
you over
fuck?
now. Boynton Beach.
Oh, there's something
They pull you
serious.
over.
It's funny.
And it's not just one, it's like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
It's like, where'd you all come
Oh, yeah,
from?
But back in the day, Boynton Beach wasn't nice. Them cats wasn't nice.
Well, back in the day, this is
It
the
was
real.
rough, you know. Boynton Beach
whoever
was
grew
rough.
up in those times, 'cause bitch, that's what made
Uh-huh.
me the man I am today. The old school police, man.
Yeah, I got hired with Boynton Beach. I was there for 6 months. Evidently,
Huh.
they did. My first time ever being police.
Well, there were a lot of black people in the police department in Boynton.
At that particular year that I got hired, the reason why I got hired is because they needed to show diversity in that city.
Okay.
And when I got hired,
Man, you
I
came up
re-
in a good time. In
yeah,
life, man.
but it was a revolving door. They wasn't keeping them.
Mm.
So when you're on probation for a year, 365 days, by the 360th day, they finding a
Probation's
reason.
a whole year.
Yeah, probation's a whole year to
It's
see
not
how
90
you.
days.
No, it's not like going
Yeah,
to working in
it's different.
7-Eleven. You got
No.
6 months and 3
Yeah, it's
months.
different.
No, you got a whole year being looked at, and I didn't make it to the whole year, but I already knew I wasn't going to make it. When you got other cops telling you, and you're a rookie, what you going to do after this?
Yeah.
So it was tough. It was tough. I knew nothing. There is no police in my family that I had known of.
Oh, so you were
I was
virgin.
yes, I was the first cop in my family.
Huh.
So, my dad was very proud. But he never said it. My dad never said he was proud of you.
But
Never.
you knew it though.
Yeah, because he would always call me
You
up
know,
and ask
sometimes
me
it's
stuff.
hard
Men
love,
from his time
tough
didn't
love,
show their
tough love.
emotions.
No, exactly.
Men from his time didn't share their
Exactly.
emotions at all, even if it was
It didn't matter.
an attribute.
Right.
You know.
So after that, after getting hired in Boynton Beach and got cut loose, I came through Palm Springs just cutting through to get home, and I ran up on the Palm Springs Police Department.
Oh,
And
Davis, right here.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that by accident. It's all by accident.
God is
I
good,
seen
bro.
this
Look at
guy putting in the doing something to the billboard, and I asked him, "Are y'all hiring?" He looked at me and he said, "Yeah, come on in here." And she said,
was it a cop that was putting
no, it was the chief.
Huh.
So he said,
Hands-on.
we're going to try something new. We're going to hire you part-time. I'll take it.
Part-time.
Yeah, I was
You be
a
a part-time cop.
I was part-time. I was
You
giving
be
them.
part-time anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was giving 36.
That's part-time?
32
Wow.
to 36 hours.
Okay.
But I found out the real reason for part-time.
Why was that?
I was the first black police officer in Palm Springs.
The first black
Oh,
police
okay.
officer in Palm
So
Springs,
they,
baby.
you know,
The
you know,
first one. The
you know how
story
you
getting
say-
better.
You were
Yeah, but
Getting better.
Yeah, but you know how you say when you're baking a cake and you baking from what your mom put down on a piece of paper, then you say to yourself, I'm gonna try something new.
You only do it part-time?
Right. But I'm gonna sprinkle this little bit of more sugar in the cake
Yep.
and see if everybody liked the cake with that little bit
Oh,
of
because you learned that from, you must have picked that up from
what?
Boynton Beach Police.
Well, it ain't that.
Putting that little sugar now.
No.
No,
it
they
was-
were trying it out. They were
That's-
trying them out.
Yeah,
they were
they
trying
wanted
out the
it.
city.
They wanted to see if I would be okay.
Excuse me.
Oh,
In Palm
okay, I
Springs,
get it now.
because Palm Springs was predominantly white,
Yeah.
and they were older crowd,
And to have, you
and
know,
it was
a black
funny.
officer.
A lot of people told me if this guy was chief of police, the old guy that retired, he would have never hired you. Now, everybody was telling me that he would have never hired you, and it's so funny because that same chief of police that wouldn't have hired me, I met him, I talked to him, he was cool with me. I don't know if he didn't like me or not. I don't know if it was the color of my skin that affected him, but every time I turned around, he would say, hey, tell Officer Spruill to come on over here. Let me talk to him.
Just like that. I could imagine it already.
Yeah, and every time I
Because
see
you're
him
probably
shot,
willing to learn.
huh?
You're willing to learn.
I was willing to learn anything. It
You
didn't
know,
matter
so-
because you got to understand the bottom line is I got to feed my kids. So I take whatever you dish out. It doesn't affect me as long as
Free
the
knowledge.
paycheck don't stop.
Yeah.
Free
So how many
fucking
kids did you end up having?
One.
Okay, you have one.
That's it.
Okay.
I can't do no more.
Don't look at my grades.
Yeah, I can't do no more.
I'm at 7. I got 7.
Nah. But I bet you don't have as many marriages I do.
Oh, how many you got?
3.
Forget that.
Yeah.
So Leroy, so what would he tell you when he would call you over? Like,
Oh, he just talked to me, asked me how my day's going. He heard good things about me, and you know, I learned something long time ago. You know, you give out what you want to receive, or you
That's right.
Is that, did I say
Yeah.
it right?
Yeah.
You give out what you want to receive.
Yeah, you gotta
You
give
know,
it to the
If I wanted to
universe.
be a shitty cop, I could have been one.
yeah, but you ain't.
It just no.
That's gonna bring bad karma.
Yeah.
And,
No,
you know,
it ain't that. It's just a friend of mine told me a long time ago when I first got hired there. He was a deputy. Pulled me to the side. He said, "I heard you got hired in Palm Springs."
Damn, the word spreads, huh?
Yeah, because it was the first black officer there.
Wow.
So he said to me, "Know your city." I said, "Know my city." He said, "Yeah." Well, I know where to go. And then, no. Know the people in your city first.
That's.
Yeah, I mean that's a powerful statement.
I'm
That's saying.
feeling it.
So, do you know what it feels like to be driving around in a cop car? You the man. Shit, you can pull over any motherfucking body you want.
That's it.
And you see a lady struggling with a trash can. Pulled the car over, stopped. I get out. Said, "Ma'am, I can take that. I'll take it up to her house for her." She was like, "What? You didn't have to do that."
That's good police. That's good fucking police.
You know, I mean, those
Good police.
little things is what I gave, and I was getting it back. You know, I never got into a hustle and bustle. Well, I ain't gonna say that. I did. You know, I've always got into situations where someone knew me, and they was like, "Yo, give this guy respect."
That's what I'm talking about.
Because
Yeah.
he gives you respect. So you give off that energy and you get it right back. Do you know one day, I stopped a guy on Kirk Road. Called for backup. I was a little nervous. Something said, hold up. Then another car pulls up and pulls to the side of the road, other side of the road. And I gotta look at this car, and I stopped this one.
Fuck.
That's what I said.
You got one.
So I'm waiting.
Like this with two
I'm waiting for backup. I normally don't call it, but this time I said, how do you want to handle this?
Fuck.
So, I'm looking at the car across the street, tinted windows, can't see you inside. And I'm looking at this guy right here.
Which one you going to first?
I'm going to this guy right here
When you
because
go
he
on.
shields me from whatever's going to go down right there.
Huh.
So, yeah, I mean, you got to be a little bit
You
street
got to,
smart.
yeah, you got to.
So,
You got to know your street.
when I looked at this guy, did my, my little ticket thing and everything, and I got back to the car, and this car drove off, but I still stood up because I'm looking at the car across the street. They all got out. Guess who were they?
Your people.
They were all the barbershop boys on that one corner said, we want to make sure you all right. We see your backup didn't show up yet.
Shout out to all the barbers.
Oh, I love it.
Shout out to all the Palm Beach
Shit.
barbers. Shout out to all the Palm Beach
All the
barbers.
barbers.
Scared the shit out of me, and I told him, I said, man, he said, we seen how you got out the car. Fuck that, we ain't gonna let you do this by yourself. I was like, that's what's up.
That's what I'm talking about.
And they gave it back.
Respect,
So-
bro. Loyalty.
When you do that cop job, and it's difficult now. It's difficult. People are different.
Yeah, back now
Very
it's all
different.
about
People
pulling
are
a
very
trigger.
different.
It's not even all about pulling the trigger right now. It's all about how you use your mouth.
Yeah.
Uh,
That is true.
And
That is true.
but
Yes.
I never had to pull my gun on somebody unless a gun was present for me to do that.
No, I'm not
But-
saying like for you. I'm saying nowadays the youth now, it's not about fist fighting. It's
Nope.
about them trying to pull it.
Right, because they never
I'm not
use
saying
their
you.
mouth. Right.
I'm not saying you, but the mouth thing now is what's setting off a lot of stupidity.
Is what comes out of a person's mouth. Do you know, and you got to ask yourself this question, even you're a female. How many times do someone open the door and say, hello? And you not say nothing, or you normally give a hello back, or you walk past somebody who says something to you and you don't give it back. And that causes a friction for another person. If somebody, man, I spoke to her, I mean, at least you could have did was said hello, Don't mean, or open the door for you.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
And when you get that kind of,
I'm always grateful. I'm probably.
And that's the beautiful
I'm
thing.
overly chatty.
yeah,
That's
the beautiful
I
thing.
go, I go into like the little store, and I might be
just-
like just paying for gas, and they get to hear like the whole day, what I'm
Exactly.
doing this morning, what they should be doing tonight.
You get into a nice conversation, and guess what? That little conversation just made the other person's day.
Yeah.
So when being in a cop uniform, and I get out my car, go in the store, hey, how you doing? I'm gonna tell you what happened in Boynton Beach that blew me away. I was thirsty. You know where Cherry Hill is in Boynton Beach?
Mm-hmm.
That was the worst area. Well, I was thirsty one day, and I'm in the passenger seat being a rookie. I asked the guy that's my trainer, I said, can I get a soda? He was like, but you want to go in that store? We was on Cherry Hill. I was like, it's a store. Why can't we go in it?
Sure.
You want to go in this here store right here? And I was like, it's the store. I just want to get a Pepsi. Come on out. He said, go ahead. He let me get out the car. I go inside. He takes off.
Oh, what an asshole!
Now, mind you,
What a fucking asshole!
no,
Palm
here's
Beach for you, baby. Ratchet but classy.
That was Boynton. That was
that was
Boynton.
Boynton.
Yeah, but Boynton Beach. I'm talking about in general.
But I go in, get a Pepsi, and I come out, and the guy said, I call them milk crate boys. When they sit on a milk crate, they ain't got a motherfucking job, but they just sit on a milk crate.
Chilling on the milk
Chilling
crate.
right next to
But they almost always got a tall boy, right?
Yeah, I always got something. So I get out, and I look at him. I said, where'd he go? He just left. Now I'm listening to my radio and didn't hear my call sign, so I was like, okay. So I started talking with the milk crate boy. Pretty cool and everything. I ain't, I'm a human. Under this here uniform, I'm a human being.
I'm here because I'm thirsty.
So I'm sitting there talking to him. He pulls back up, and I was like, where'd you go? He said, I don't be sitting around here.
The fuck?
Why?
That's stupid.
But here's the thing. You pick an area, poverty stricken, whatever the case may be, dope area, whatever the case may be. You pick an area, and you're scared, and you holding a gun.
Yeah.
What do you have to be scared of?
Yeah, you the fucking...
You the police! And I'm sitting there, and you just rolled off like that. And I sit back
and left you alone.
And left me there. But he act like I was going to be a nervous rookie, but you don't understand. I come from Philly.
And I'm motherfucking thirsty.
And I'm thirsty.
That's it.
Yeah, but I'm from Philly. You know what I mean? They don't scare me. They should be more scared of me than me of them.
They probably were.
Yeah.
And when you have a conversation with one or anybody who's a little nervous,
yeah, that's it.
I'm gonna tell you, it's funny. I had a hoopty. You know my hoopty had a cutlass
Oh,
sitting
yeah,
on 22.
Yeah. That's all you
And
had given
I would go back and forth to work in uniform in that car. I stopped at a store, and I'm in the hoopty now, and I'm in my uniform just as well.
Sweet.
I stopped at the store. These kids made me laugh so hard. They was like, "Oh, look at the car, the badass car. Oh shit, that's the bomb. Look at that." And then when I got up, they went, "Oh, police!"
They probably thought you were undercover or something.
Hey, what year was that car?
83 Cuttin.
Oh, I had an 82.
Oh.
But no rims.
That was my
I don't have
grandmama
rims.
car, man. It was an 83 Cutlass. I put it on 22s.
Nice, sweet.
And booming system, TVs, everything.
Uniform, though.
In my uniform. I ain't give a shit.
Oh, man.
Because I'm a person underneath that uniform. But I learned a lot as a cop. I learned a lot about people as a cop. I learned a lot about how the system works as a cop. It's very hard. It's hard work, especially if you have one person in that department that don't like you.
Well, it's gonna happen.
Right.
And of course, yeah, but when you have nobody to back you.
Since you brought that up, this is where I'm gonna speak. This is where I can speak. This is shout out to all the haters. Cause I'm gonna tell you one thing. When this guy retired, man, I couldn't even, bro. The amount of comments you got. Whole of Palm Springs in general, man. You really listen. If you really fuck with this guy right here, you don't understand. You don't gotta worry about the police department itself. You gotta worry about the streets, man. Cause Leroy's a fucking legend, and let me tell you, man, they lost a good one, bro.
What year did you graduate? What year did you?
2017. 2017.
Oh, it's pretty recent.
Well, I let it go because enough was enough, and I really would like to do more work with the kids. The kids are losing it. The kids are not gaining anything from this here society we living in right now. They're not. I mean, they need the old school. You need to have wood shops, metal shops. They need to get a hands-on.
And with this whole COVID shit, man.
Yeah, they taking it bad. They took a bad hit with the COVID. And I feel kind of really bad for these kids, but a lot of these kids can be saved out here today. And it's just the fact that they're going about it the wrong way. Tough love goes a long way. Tough love goes a long way. It goes a long way. I showed tough love to mine. And I gotta admit, me being junior, the hardest thing that any person, human being, has to go through, has to suffer with, has to go through rehab, has to understand is the DNA. Your DNA. If you know your DNA, you know where you came from. You know what your
roots, your background.
You go to your DNA and you look at what's in it. You look at your mom, you look at your dad, and you say to yourself, you're a mixture of their characteristics. Now you have to say to yourself, what do you want to be? Yeah, what do you want to be? At some point in life, you can't be straight like your dad. My dad was no joke. People don't quite understand. This motherfucker was mean. He was mean.
Yeah, my
And my mom ain't no different.
Are they still around?
My father passed. My mother's still living.
Mom's still
Okay.
living.
Yeah. So,
And she hasn't changed.
She's
from
still
when
in
I
West
was here.
Philly?
no, she's here
She's
in
here?
Florida.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's here.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's been a headache, right?
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
And look,
you're not supposed to say that.
I'm here to tell you, I love my mom to death. But we cannot be in the same space.
I'm like that with my mom.
Yeah, it cannot. It cannot. And the reason being is because I recognize my DNA. I recognize that DNA from her. And COVID should have done a lot for everybody in the world. Give you a moment to be by yourself.
Yeah, that's true.
It was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get a moment to actually do analysis of your own self.
Absolutely.
And then when this COVID thing dies down, because it's never going to stop, when it dies down and you go back out that door again, this time you should go with a positive attitude. You should go with a game plan. You should have the most important game plan. But here's the thing.
Go hard.
Yes, go hard.
Go hard.
Go hard on your game plan.
That's the
Look,
advice he gave me. Go hard.
go hard.
Leroy, listen, this guy right here, if you want to know about his drones, and you need, and what do? The aerial thing, the estimates.
Started the business on the drones.
What's the name of the business? Let's give them some background real quick.
Area view perceptions. It is.
Time is running out right now.
You're going to throw that number out there, right?
Hey, listen, guys, to contact him, you know the number's right there.
Yeah,
Call.
area view perceptions, and I have air graphic design where I do airbrush art, murals, t-shirts, jeans, whatever.
Same number.
Yeah.
Same number.
I do it.
And then you also do, for the drones, you do the assessments or something?
Yes,
For
we also
properties?
do claim adjusters.
Claim adjusters, if you need an aerial thing, you already know.
Yeah.
Call the number.
Yes.
So listen, guys. Thank you, Leroy, for
Thanks
being
for
my
having
guest.
me. Thanks for having me.
Leroy, thank you, bro. I was able to hear more things that I didn't know.
Thank you.
All right.
I want to give a shout out to Leroy. Remember, he's a living legend. So shout out to all the haters that hated on Leroy. He's
Shout
still
out
out
to the
here
haters.
collecting a check, a retirement, and still got his benefits. Hell of a man, a great man, a mentor to me. So guys, listen, we always giving out a place and a tips, places to go visit. So today, Michelle got the place to visit too. Let her know, Michelle, what place did they visit in Palm Beach?
So last week I went to Mount's Botanical Gardens, and they have 11 acres of beauty, and I recommend that you go out there. It's only $10 admission, and you can actually feed the koi fish.
And you get to know Palm Beach County.
Palm Beach County.
Palm Beach County, I love it. Michelle, love you too.
Love you, Chewy.
Thank you for checking us out. Stay tuned for next week, because you never know who's in the chair.
Cutting it up at Palm Beach Finest Barbershop.
Hey guys, this is Succulent Michelle here with your tip of the week. As Leroy said in his interview, that education is really important. I have been actually working on my degree or degrees for 14 years. And I recently had to go to the Florida Board certification to take a free class. And I realized how I could encourage you all to Google free classes and see what's on there, see what you're interested in, and get educated. Education is power.